challenging. I think we have one more question. Yes, ma'am.
What do you attribute to the fact that we haven't been hit since 9/11?
Why have we not been hit since 9/11, which is a good question. My first answer is I honestly don't know. I would have expected another attack, and I particularly thought, I was very, very worried and talked to the administration when we had the sniper attacks, because the sniper attacks were psychologically so frightening to the average person because of their randomness, that I thought, I was amazed that the bad guys didn't figure out how to send 10 or 12 sniper teams. I think there are a couple things, though, that we tend not. This is, by the way, one of the great tragedies of the Bush administration. The more successful they've been at intercepting and stopping bad guys, the less proof there is that we're in danger. And therefore, the better they've done at making sure there isn't an attack, the easier it is to say, well, there was never going to be an attack anyway. And it's almost like they should every once in a while have allowed an attack to get through just to remind us. But I mean, think about the psychology. You know, why did we wrap up so many people? Well, because we wiretapped. And again, I'm going to be a little controversial. I would divide the FBI into two agencies. I would have an anti-domestic crime FBI, which was very cautious, very respectful of civil liberties. You were innocent until proven guilty. And I would have a small but very aggressive anti-terrorism agency. And I would frankly give them extraordinary ability to eavesdrop. And my first advice to civil libertarians is simple. Don't plot with terrorists. Because the only information that I would allow to be admissible by this agency would be information related to terrorism. But if you ask me, am I prepared to be very aggressive in order to avoid a nuclear weapon going off in New York or a biological weapon going off in Boston? My answer is yeah. I think that it is very important that we recognize the nature of the modern world. We recognize how sophisticated some of our opponents are getting. And we stay ahead of them with a relentless intensity, which I do not want to see any domestic police department have. Because I think your liberties in a domestic setting are paramount. I would rather risk crime than risk losing my civil liberties. But I would not rather risk a nuclear weapon. And I think it's very important. And I think the greatest danger to our liberty is to actually have the country end up in the kind of attack that would lead us to favor a dictatorship for security. And the history of human beings is simple. Human beings do not like living in periods where they are deeply threatened. And if the democracy can't protect them, they will shift towards a dictatorship. So I want a democracy which is very protective of your civil liberties for crime and very relentless in pursuing terrorists to protect you from terrorism. And I think candidly, the Bush administration, despite all the attacks on it and the mistakes they've made, and I certainly disagree with how they handled Iraq after the first campaign, which was brilliant, and I thought had they listened carefully to Ambassador Khalilzad and General Petraeus in 2003, we frankly would have probably won the war and been over a long time ago. But having said that, on the stopping terrorism front, someday, 50 years from now, somebody will have access to the documents and will write a history that will show that George W. Bush did a lot more to protect this country successfully than anybody knows at the present time. Thank you all very much. Let's sign books.